Hello and congratulations if you are expecting a baby. I'm going to share with you my top tips for things that you need to buy for your baby, whether it's your first or your second. These are actually the things I bought for my second child. There are some things that I bought this time that I didn't have last time, and these things are things that I honestly couldn't live without now. So I am going to share those with you today. One of the first things that I bought, and probably the thing that I wanted the most, was not this chair, although it does actually go with this chair. This is from IKEA. It's the Strandman armchair. It's amazing, and I will link it down below for you. But it's the footstool that goes with this chair. It's around £50, I think, so not that expensive really when you think about it. And my goodness, it makes such a difference. We moved Rupert into his own room at 6 months old, and if you feed your baby in their room, you will know that it's important to make yourself comfortable, especially if they wake frequently during the night. One of the things that I really hated when I used to feed Finley was the fact that my legs and feet would get really cold when I was feeding, especially because you often hop out of bed in the middle of the night, obviously, go across to their room. You're maybe not quite appropriately dressed for the temperature change because it's often a lot colder in their room than it is in yours, or that's certainly the case in our house anyway. And then you sit on this chair with your legs dangling down, and even with a blanket on, I used to get a draft under my legs and I just didn't feel comfortable and certainly didn't feel relaxed. This footstool has been an absolute game changer. I can lay back on this armchair. I have a basket right next to me with a big cozy blanket in, and I can just throw that over my legs, and honestly it is so much better. If you haven't already got an armchair on your list and a footstool, then I would definitely try and squeeze one in somehow. Have a look on Gumtree or a secondhand marketplace if you can't afford to buy new, but really you won't regret it. Another sleep related thing that we didn't have last time and I bought this time were the Love to Dream swaddles. We had some grow bag swaddles before, which are ones that zip up but their arms are across their chest like this. The Love to Dream swaddles are a little bit different because they have their arms up like this, which is the natural position that lots of babies prefer to lie in. I didn't have any with Finley. Again, it was a cost thing. We just couldn't afford them after everything else. They're quite pricey. I think around £20 per sleeping bag, but we put them on our baby gift list this time and we were given them by family. I do find that babies sleep a lot better in those newborn days when they are swaddled, whether you swaddle them with a blanket yourself or use one of these bags. To be honest, although swaddling with blankets does work, the bags are just easier because you can zip them up, you can zip them down and then just expose their bottom half if you want to change them, and keep this half still covered up at night, so you're not changing their temperature, you're not disturbing them too much. And it also helps to prevent them waking up, because a lot of babies when they're newborn have the Moro reflex, which is where they suddenly throw their arms out or twitch their arms in their sleep, and that often wakes them up. So being in a swaddle just stops them being able to do that, but they're still nice and comfy. Something that I was always interested in last time but didn't buy was one of these. This is a silicone breast pump. The popular brand is Hacker, but in all honesty, they're all the same. So just buy a cheaper one on Amazon. This one was a lot less expensive. I will link it down below for you if you want to check it out. It works really well. I'm just looking on the bottle here. It's by Little Bloom. The reason why I didn't get one of these last time was because I'm very lucky in that I don't actually leak when I'm breastfeeding. Often women will leak, especially in those first few months while their milk supply is regulating, and I didn't leak at all with Finley, not one tiny bit. With Rupert it was a tiny bit, but really not much to write home about, and I thought that this wouldn't work because the way that these work is that you feed your baby on one side and then you put this on the other side. I'll show you quickly how to do it in a second, and then this collects all the milk from the letdown on the other side. I thought that because I wasn't leaking and I wasn't letting anything down that it wouldn't work, but actually when this is on it pulls it out, so you can collect quite a lot, especially in the newborn days. You can collect a really good amount, and it's great for building up a milk stash without having to actively pump, which can be a bit of a pain. So the trick to these is the way that you put them on. The first thing you have to do is fold the top down like this, and then you squeeze them, and then you put your nipple into this part here, and then you fold this bit up over your boob, and then this bit stays squished in because it creates a vacuum suction. You don't need to hold it on, it holds itself on, and this one even came with a little cap to put on afterwards, so there's no chance that you spill the milk out anywhere. It's also got a suctioned bottom, so you can put it onto the table or surface next to you and it won't easily tip over. The next new thing that I bought thought was something for play, and they are these. These are the high contrast black and white cards by, I think you say Bebadoo. I've looked for these on Amazon loads since I bought them because I wanted to recommend them to people. I can't find them anywhere anymore, but I will find something similar and link it down below for you. I'll get them out now to show you. Basically, all they are cards with different patterns and pictures on. So some of them have actual pictures of creatures, and then some of them just have patterns on them. And you may be aware that babies, especially when they're newborn, but when they're older too, really enjoy looking at high contrast patterns, so patterns that are dark and light colours together. This is because when babies are first born, they can see in colour, but they can see best in scales of grey. So the difference between blacks and whites is really obvious to them and very interesting. Good for their eye development, good for their brain development, and good for entertaining them too. I used these cards loads when Rupert was a newborn. We still use them now and he's 6 months old. They are just a nice alternative to a book and a really great gift as well if you're looking for a baby shower present. Our next new purchase this time was a big buy. It is our Baby Jogger City Select. It's the double Baby Jogger stroller. But don't click off if you don't need a double. I'm going to tell you about the alternative single stroller as well. We actually had a Baby Jogger City mini stroller when Finley was young. I bought it second hand after I'd already bought, or actually our family had already bought us a very expensive pram. The Baby Jogger City mini, this single one, is amazing because it folds up really easily. It's got great big thick wheels, so it's great for going all terrain. It's just so easy to use. If you haven't got one and you're looking for a pram, I would really highly recommend them. I loved it so much that I knew this time that I wanted to get another Baby Jogger branded stroller. So we got the City Select, which is the double version, and you can use it in several different ways, with a car seat, with a bassinet, with 2 seats together, and they can go in lots of different configurations. I'll put some images up on the screen for you to see. I absolutely love it. It is quite big and bulky and can be difficult to push, especially as the boys are both getting bigger, but I do think that that is the same with most double strollers. I like it because it's long rather than wide, so you never have to worry about fitting through narrow spaces. It folds down relatively small for a double, and I can easily get it into the boot of our car. We have a Hyundai iX35, which is an SUV, but a small SUV, and it would fit into the back of a hatchback car if you stand it upright this way rather than laying it on its bottom like this. I would say that the downsides of the City Select are that it's quite difficult to fold up and put together if you don't have the knack or the practice for it. Quite a few people that have borrowed ours when they've taken the boys have had trouble with putting it up and collapsing it back down again, but actually once you get used to it and use it often, it's not that hard to learn. Again, I didn't buy it new, it was second hand and it's worked perfectly for us. You can wash all the covers and everything, and I'm not personally precious about buying things second hand, but I know that some people, especially when it's your first baby, you often do want to buy new. But if you can't afford new, I would definitely recommend looking on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. The next travel item, and one that I have shared in my baby Best Buys video that I referred to before, is this, and it is the Maroc car seat blanket. I think this was the one thing that I wanted to buy this time above all else. I saw lots of people with them when Finley was a baby and I was always fascinated by them. They looked so useful, and now that we have one, I am so glad we made the purchase. Obviously we haven't been able to use this for that long because it's the summer now, but Rupert was a December baby, so in those first few months it was absolutely invaluable, and I will definitely use it again when this winter comes round. I think we might have to upgrade to a slightly bigger version. So if you have a baby that's coming in the autumn, winter or spring months, because those can still be quite chilly, I would really recommend these. I think you can get them in different thickness levels as well. The way it works is that it sits in the car seat. If you can see the holes there, the straps come through these holes, so these ones go over the baby's shoulders and then that bottom one goes through their legs, and this sits behind them in the car seat, and then your baby sits in here and you just wrap them up like this. It has got a little hood as well, although to be fair, we didn't actually use this hood. I just used to put a hat on Rupert. The reason that they're so wonderful is because baby cardigans and baby snowsuits, and you'll know this if you've already had a baby, are really difficult to get on and off, and if you're going in and out of shops, especially where you're going from cold to warm environments, it can be a huge hassle. These are so brilliant because you just literally wrap your baby up to go in the car. They don't affect the safety of the car seat because they don't impede the straps in any way. And then if you go into a warm environment, you can just uncover them. If they fall asleep in the car seat and you're going to a restaurant maybe and you're just leaving them in there for a little bit, you can just uncover them. If you think that they're getting too cold, you can just flip it back over them without disturbing them at all. They really are such a great idea. As with everything in this list, I think I'm sensing a theme here. The reason I didn't buy one of these was because they are quite pricey, but again, I bought this one second hand from eBay and it came in amazing condition. I washed it before we used it, never had any problems, and I would really highly recommend them. If you are interested in buying a new one, I will put a link below for you. This next item is a little bit of a cheat item because although I did buy this for Rupert, we actually already had one for Finley. I had to buy a second one because we just loved Finley so much and we still use it, and I've talked about them quite a few times before. It's the My Hummy white noise machine. This again was second hand and it is brilliant. They unzip at the back, the actual bit that makes the white noise comes out, and then this part just goes in the washing machine. So if you've got a sicky baby or if you've bought it second hand or from a friend, you can easily wash this part and it comes out brand new. The batteries just go in the back here. You have to change them, I would say, every maybe 3 to 4 weeks depending on how much you use it, so it is a little bit of hassle, but for how good they are, I would say that it's worth it. It just has this button on the front here and you can put it in various different settings. There's different types of white noise. You can change the volume, and the thing that I like best about these over and above things like You and the Dream Sheep, which I know are very popular, is that once you've turned this on, it will stay on for a full hour. If your baby starts making little noises or if there is a loud noise outside, it will start up again without you having to press any buttons, and it will do that cycle for 12 hours straight. There are lots of different white noise machines on the market, but I just love the My Hummy, and they're great because they have a strap at the back as well so that you can easily attach them to your car seat or a pram if you're going out and about and take it with you, and we've done that numerous times as well. I've just remembered one more thing that I had to tell you about before you sign off. If you are a dummy user or you plan on trying out dummies with your baby, which I would definitely consider thinking about, I had to share this product with you. They are glow in the dark dummies. I had heard about them before but never got them last time. We have the Tommy Tippy brand. I can't actually find one at the moment, but I will put a picture up on the screen. We're constantly losing them. You need more than you think. They're amazing because, as the name suggests, you can see them in the dark, which is really useful. It stops you having to root around in your baby's bed frantically trying to find a dummy to put back in their mouth and potentially poking your baby in the eye in the process. Just so much easier. If you do plan on using dummies, save yourself a lot of hassle and get some glow in the dark ones. When I was pregnant with Rupert, our second baby, I searched and searched for videos like this telling me the things that I should buy as a second time round mum that maybe I had overlooked the first time. So I hope that if you are a second time or third or fourth time mum, that you found this video useful, but equally if you are a first time mum and you are expecting your first baby, then I hope that this had some useful tips in there for you as well, because of course you could buy all these things for your first baby too. If you would like to check out my video on the best baby buys that you probably haven't got on your list, then click onto this video here and do consider subscribing for lots more baby content. That's what I do here: baby play, baby life, baby products and reviews. I would love to have you as part of the family, and if you did enjoy this video, then please do give it a like and leave a comment. It means so very much to me and it does help my channel out too. I will see you all next time. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Bye bye. This is how I lie in this chair with Rupert, and honestly it is the most comfortable thing in the whole world. I just rest my head on here while I'm feeding him. Legs up, eyes closed. Don't fall asleep. You shouldn't fall asleep while you're feeding your baby, but honestly, it's really tempting in this chair in a nice way.